Good morning students, how are you? So I welcome back you all to this class of mathematics, and today we are discussing here chapter 6 of class 12 mathematics, applications of derivatives. In applications of derivatives, today we are starting with maxima and minima. Now first of all students, we have to understand what is the meaning of the term maxima and minima. We should understand first what we are going to do in this chapter. So for that, now consider this curve. This is the graph of the function let y is equal to fx. Now in this graph you can see that let us consider this point, let it be x1, and if you want to find what is the value of the function at the point x1, so you draw a line parallel to y-axis and then you reach here. So this is the value fx1 which is corresponding to the point x1. Okay, now consider let this is any other point x2 and the corresponding value of function is fx1, and this is the point C and the corresponding value of the function is fc. So now you can see that if you take any point on the x-axis and corresponding to that point, if you take the value of the function, out of all those values which is maximum, out of all these values fx1, fx2, etc., you can see that fc is the maximum value of the function that it is attaining, and this maximum value of the function, this you are getting at the point x equal to c. So this x equal to c is called point of maxima, and the value of the function at this point fc is called maximum value of the function. So here I think you must have got some idea about what are we going to do in the chapter maxima and minima. So maxima means point of maxima is that value of x at which the function attains its maximum value. Now similarly consider the second figure, figure C. In this figure again we are considering the graph of the function y is equal to fx. Now you can see if you take any point x1, corresponding value of the function, that is height on y-axis fx1, consider any other point here, say x2, the corresponding height of the function is fx2, and you can see point C and the corresponding height of the function, the value of the function at the point C is fc. So now you can see out of all these values fx1, fx2, fx3, etc., you take any other value at any other point in some interval. So let us consider this interval. We are considering in this interval only. So in this given interval a to b, out of all the values fx1, x2, x3, etc., fc is the minimum value of the function. So the point x equal to c at which the minimum value of the function is occurring, this is called point of minimum. And the value of the function, the minimum value, this is called fc, is called minimum value of function. So we are considering only this branch of function from here to here. And look at this case, look at this particular case. Here also we are considering from this point to this point. We are considering only this branch of the function. So we are considering this function in a very small branch, and in that branch we are finding out at what point the function attains maximum value, that is the point of maxima, at what point the function attains minimum value, that is the point of minimum. Now students, we have used the terms absolute maxima, absolute minima in the books when you study the chapter. The terms local maxima, local minima, absolute maxima, absolute minima, etc. are used. So now we are going to first discuss what do you mean by absolute maxima and absolute minima. So now here you consider the graph of the function y is equal to fx. Look at this figure. Here you can see that the domain of the function is the open interval AB, and we are considering this function. In this graph you can notice that what is the height of the what is the maximum height of this whole function. As you can see that we have drawn the graph of the function from in its domain a to b, and this is the complete graph. So at some points the function has got more height, at some point it has got less height. So out of all these values that the function is attaining, as you can see that if you take the point x equal to b, the height of the function at x equal to b is, the value of the function is fb. If you take the point x equal to c, the value of the function at the point x equal to c is fc. The value of the function at the point x equal to d is fd. And what is fd? This is this height. This is fd. This height, this is fc. This height is fb. And this height, the value of the function at the point a is fa. This height is fa. Now looking at this graph, can you tell me what is the absolute maximum value of the function? Absolute maximum value means out of all the values that the function is attaining, whichever value is maximum is called absolute maximum value of the function. And you can see from the graph, it is very clear that at the point x equal to c, the function is attaining the value fc, and this value fc is more than any other value that the function is attaining. So this point x equal to c will be called the point of absolute maxima, and the value of the function at c, that is fc, will be called absolute maximum value of the function. Similarly, you can also note down, students, that out of all the values that the function is attaining, which value of the function is least one? Which height of all these lines that you can see, all the perpendicular lines to x-axis, which is of the smallest height? So you can see this one, this pink color line, this is of smallest height. That means that the function is attaining its absolute minimum value at the point x equal to d. So the value of the function at the point x equal to d, which is fd, is the absolute minimum value of the function. Why it is absolute minimum value of the function? Because it is less than or equal to any other value of the function at any other point. And hence we have the formal definition of absolute maxima and absolute minima. So now students, you can go through this definition of absolute maximum. A function fx is said to have greatest value or absolute maximum value at a point a or any other point, either a or c, it can be any point which is lying in its domain, if the value of the function at that point is more than the value of the function at any other point. Similarly, any point in the domain of the function will be called the point of absolute minima if the value of the function at that point is less than or equal to the value of the function at any other point. So in nutshell, we can say that the absolute maximum value or the absolute minimum value is the maximum value as for the for all the points of the domains. When you consider the whole domain, in that the maximum value is absolute maximum value, and when you consider the whole domain, in that the minimum value is absolute minimum value. Now let us discuss the another term which is used most often in maxima and minima, that is local maxima and local minima. So what is local maxima and local minima, students? Again, here you can consider the graph of this function. Look at this graph, this one. And here you can see that x equal to c is any point in the domain of the function. So here I am not interested in knowing whether the point is of absolute maxima or not. I just want to know whether it is maximum, the value of the function is maximum at this point in its neighboring points. Neighboring points means the points which are very near to C, in left of C and in right of C. If I try out the value of the function at all those points, so I notice that the value of the function at the point C is maximum, because I can see that the height of fc is more than the height of fc plus h or fc minus h. That means the value of the function at the point C is more than the value of the function at its neighboring points. In that case, x equal to C will be called the point of local maxima, and the corresponding value fc will be called the local maximum value of the function. Here you can go for the definition. C will be a point of local maxima if there is an open interval I. Here the open interval I is C minus H, C plus H. The open interval is C minus H, C plus H. And we know very much that C belongs to this open interval. Open interval is nothing. What an open interval means? Few points very near to C and in left of C and in right of C. That is called the open interval. Okay. So if the value of the function at the point C is more than the value of the function at any other neighboring points, then it is called the local minima or local maxima. Local word is used, you can use the literal meaning of the word local. That means we are not comparing the values of the function at different points in the whole domain, but we are comparing the values of the function in a very small interval. Then it is called local maxima or local minima. So here also in the second case, in the second figure, here where I am putting a tick, you can see that if you consider the value of the function at this point C, which is shown by a pink line here, this is fc. If you take a point slightly in right of C, which is x equal to C plus h, the corresponding value of the function there will be fc plus h. Now you can see that fc plus h is more than fc. And similarly, if you consider any function point in the left of C, which is C minus h, and the value of the function there will be fc minus h, and you can see that fc minus h is also more than fc. So I can see that the value of the function at the point C is less than the value of the function at any other point in a small open interval. Then we say the C is the point of local minima, and the corresponding value of the function fc will be called the local minimum value of the function. So local maxima and local minima means that when we are comparing the values of function in a very small interval, just in the neighboring, just for the few neighboring points, that is the neighborhood maxima minimum. And when we say absolute maxima minima, that means the maximum value or the minimum value of the function in the whole domain. Local word is used same as we use the local word in our literal language, and absolute word, you can see it is the synonym of global in these terms. Absolute minima can also be considered as global minimum. Okay. Now students, let us compare the local and absolute maxima and local and absolute minimum. Now consider the graph of the function y is equal to fx. Now you can see that in this graph, point A is the point where the graph has a maxima. Now you tell me it's local or global, local or absolute. B, C, these are some special points. What do we call these special points? These special points are such where the function is taking a turn. These are also called turning points, critical points, points of extremas, etc. So now a few remarks are there. In the whole domain of the function, a function can have at the most one absolute maximum and at the most one absolute minimum. For the whole domain, function will have only one absolute maximum and one absolute minimum, but a function can have more than one local maximum and more than one local minimum. For example, you can see in this graph. In this graph, the maximum height of the function is attained at this point C. At x equal to C, the height of the function is maximum. Therefore, absolute maxima occurs at the point x equal to C, and absolute maximum value of the function is fc. Similarly, at the point x equal to b, the height of the function is smallest, and therefore we can say absolute minimum occurs at the point x equal to b, and FB is the point of absolute minimum. Whereas now you can see, students, that A is also point of maxima, but A is point of maxima in its neighborhood. If you consider the small neighborhood of A, there A has got maximum value. Now we can see D is the point of minima, but it is also local minimum. As A is the point of local maxima means A is the maximum, the maximum value of the function is attained by A in its small neighborhood. Similarly, D is the point of local minima. That means minimum value is attained by the function at the point x equal to D in this small neighborhood. We are not comparing here the values of the functions at x equal to A and D with the other values. We are considering their small neighborhood. So, hence the definition. A local, now very important result, a local minimum may be greater than a local maximum. You can see that D is local minima. That means up in its neighborhood it is the minimum point. But still D is greater than A. The height of the function at D is more than the height of the function at A. Whereas A is the point of local maxima, D is the point of local minima. Still D is at a higher level than A. So a local maxima can be less than a local minima because we are considering in their own neighborhood. We are not comparing them with other farther values. And next thing is that a local maximums and local minimums, they occur alternately. Now students, let us learn some terminology related to maxima and minima. Now you can see that this x equal to A is the point of local maxima, x equal to B is the point of local minima, x equal to C is the point of absolute maxima as well as local maxima, and x equal to D is the point of local minimum. So all these points x equal to A, B, C and D, where the function is attaining its maximum or the minimum values, these are called the points, extreme points. All these points, these are called extreme points, and the value of the function at these extreme points, that value of the function is called extreme value of the function. Okay. Now these points are also called stationary points. These points, which points I am talking about? I am talking about these points A, B, C and D. These are also called extreme points. These are also called stationary points. And these points are also called critical points. These points are also called turning points. Different terminology is used for these points. These are some very special points, students. How? Let me tell you. If you draw the tangents to all these points, see, I have drawn a tangent at the point A, tangent to the curve at the point A. I have drawn tangents to the curve at the point B, at the point C, at the point D. The property of this tangent is that all these tangents, as you see, all these tangents are parallel to x-axis. That means that the slope of all these tangents that we have drawn is going to be 0. That means the derivative of the function at all these points is going to be 0. That means f dash x is going to be 0 at all these points A, B, C and D. So we are going to use this property while finding out the local maxima and minima, etc. So here I am only familiarizing you with the different terminologies that we use in maxima and minima. So students, I end up this lesson here only, and in today's lesson you have understood what is the meaning of maxima and minima and what are the different terminologies that we use in maxima and minima. So in the next video I am going to discuss about the first derivative test, second derivative test and the working method of finding the maxima and local maxima and local minima, as well as absolute maxima and absolute minima. Till then, keep revising, keep studying, and please do not forget to like, share and subscribe this channel.